If you played Lost Ark a few years back, of course, the number one thing that was being said to you, you should make alts. But is this still true for 2026, or is it even better to not touch alts at all, and you'll literally make more money? Okay, so first of all, of course, what is the big difference why alts were so good back in the day and they aren't that good anymore? First of all, of course, we're going to talk about that there is going to be no Una tests anymore. So this, of course, was a big thing to generate silver. That is gone. But of course, the other one that was very big is going to be your dailies. And the dailies, the reds, the blues, etc., were all roster bound, like almost the whole duration of Lost Ark. But like half a year ago, they made it that all the items, you get more of them, but they're only character bound. So you cannot funnel from your alt to your main to generate a lot more items. So that benefit now already went down the drain as well. So the only thing you technically are making alts for at the moment is for getting more gold from raids. Of course, if you don't know, in Lost Ark you can make gold from 6 different characters, and of course the more gold you can generate of those 6 characters, the better it's going to be. But is it even worth it at all? Of course, we're going to go ahead and compare you making a brand new alt, and this is assuming that it's going to start at 1640 already, so you bought a power pass or you had an alt that's already at 1640, and we're assuming that you're not using Express Challenge. I think it's almost always worth honing with an Express Challenge, especially if you buy yourself the premium side. It is so good, you get yourself a lot of benefits, so we're just going to be talking about getting a raw alt up without a event. What item level are we looking at? So, at the moment, we have a bunch of raids, but as well, of course, we have a lot of solo modes, and solo modes go all the way up to 1680. So if you want to go past that stage of solo modes, you have to go around 1710. At 1710, unlock yourself the normal mode Circa, normal mode Kazaros, and normal mode Act 4. And of course, if you eventually go to 1720, you get hard mode here as well. So that's going to be the goal of the character. Our goal is very simple. We have to make sure that we get to that item level. How much are we spending from it, and as well, how much money are we making every single week in return as the increase of item level, of course, gives us better raids. Talk about the benefits. So every 60-40, we're going to go ahead and do solo mode Thema and solo mode Echidna. We are not doing another solo mode on Ivory Tower. We're just going to do normal mode Behemoth. We eventually will get to solo mode A-Gear with like free bound gold. Of course, we can do that as well. That's going to be a lot better. They still are only doing solo modes, but I think that getting into Behemoth lobby is not the hardest thing for your alts at all. So we're going to just assume that we're going to do these 3 raids right here. Those are generating us 24,000 gold per week. Going to be some of this is going to be bound gold. It's not all going to be like fully tradable gold, but still with this bound gold you can hone your main, so it's totally fine as well. But if we would get ourselves our character all the way up to 1710, we are generating a whopping 113,000 gold per week. So that's more than 4 times the total amount that we were making before. We are doing hard boredom. We are not doing our modes because our modes actually gives less gold. We can still do it for materials, but not for gold. We're getting Kazaros 40k and Circa normal mode 35k. Those are handy dandy calculator. We're going to go ahead and do 113 minus 24,600. So that's going to be making 88,000 gold more a week compared to, of course, our base 60-40 character. But we're going to add a little bit of money on top of that. We're going to round this up to 100k gold. And the reason for that is because you're going to get yourself more materials as well from raids and other kind of things. And you can still do those lower rates as well if you really want those materials. So those are worth something, but pure gold value, of course, you're only getting 88k. But we're going to keep it fair and put it at 100,000 gold. The fun part, we are making 100,000 gold worth more per week on this brand new character. So like I said, if we are using things like expresses, these are not that expensive. Getting to a 1710 character is actually going to be pretty good, or at least 1700 with the express, but I'm pretty sure the next express we're getting in July will get us all the way to 1710. To do, we have to hone our gear, and as well we have to get ourselves advanced honing 20. So let's just see the prices of this right now and see how much we're gonna spend on this. And I put in all the numbers right here, and I'm even gonna be generous, and I am excluding the shard cost and tempering cost of everything. Let's just assume you have all these things ready. All these things are good. You've slaved your dailies, because shards, of course, are going to add quite a bit of money, and these are technically just grindable as well. All the other materials, you're probably going to not have enough to just do it from basic grind. You could make an argument for Abydos because you can get these from Hell Keys, but let's just assume you do not have these and you just want to hone a new character. You maybe have a little bit of Abydos, but I can guarantee you, you probably don't have enough to go all the way up there. So first of all, advanced honing 1 to 20 is going to be needed for 23 eye levels, and that already is going to set us back 865,000 300,000 gold right now. And if you even would have all the materials, it is still 300,000. But at 860k, of course, is not all we are. That's just a small little part of all the honing we need to do. Let's see how much else we will need to get 1710. So this is going to be the cost again to get to 1710. There's only one little caveat for this. I know there's books above these 18 ones right here, but they are very expensive. I think they're worth it, but for some reason in this calculator, they are not included. I don't know why, because they did include the brand new like circa honing, but these books for the plus 19 and 20 are not existing in here. So it could be a little bit cheaper, but it's not going to be that much cheaper because the books itself are very expensive. So yeah, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see a gigantic total of 4.7 million gold. And that, of course, even if you would have all the materials, you would somehow have 10,000 ebidos from your hell keys, etc., it still will cost you 1.2 million gold. So literally, there's so much in here. The big price, of course, is going to be the reds are very expensive currently. The other juices are expensive. And it's just a lot of gold, guys. It's just a lot of gold required. Combine these two numbers right here, we would be at around 5.5 million gold. If we need to go ahead and spend 5.5 million gold to get a character to 1710, we are only making 100,000 gold more profit per week. We will have to slave 55 weeks of the highest rate, not buying any other gold or any other upgrades, not buying any chests, not any other, like, the bonus chests you get from raids, literally just getting purely the gold and nothing else. It will take us over 55 weeks to get the gold back spent to the character. So that makes you question, is it even worth honing? Of course, this 55 weeks is going to be a little bit less, because there is going to be things like hell keys and other kind of things, and you're going to get better drops from highest chaos dungeons. Maybe you're going to get still some fade damage from 100k, or maybe get still like one of those relic books as well worth a few 100k. But I would say at the bare minimum, it will probably cost you 35 to 40 weeks at least to make the gold back from this character. Besides that, the only thing you have to think about is if you are playing a base 1640 character, like for example this paladin right here, you can just do solo mode. There's no gatekeeping, no things you have to think about. You just go in, slap the boss, and go out. But the other characters that are maybe 1710, like for example, like my Slayer right here, for example, it has to think about, okay, do I have friends to go with? Can I get into the lobby? Is my gear good enough? Do I have to upgrade my gear? Do I need gems? Like the bare minimum nowadays as well for a lot of people is that you have to go ahead and you have to buy yourself your 7s from here. So that means again another 100,000 gold extra cost as well. So there's a lot of things that go into not just having a 1710, but as well that the 1710 is good enough to do the raids or even get into parties if you do not have a lot of friends that are like, you can just join in that character. It's totally fine. So in 2026, looking at all these things, do I think it is worth it to make alts? I would say no. I don't think it's actually worth it for how much effort there is, especially, and we're not going to try to be doomers here on this game or whatever, but if you need a year to make back the gold, do we even know that Lost Ark is around in a year? So I would just say that if you have characters just ready at 1640, maybe you power pass them, maybe other ways, whatever it is, just keep them at 1640, do your hell keys every single week, and just hone for free to around like 60-60. You already will make a lot more gold than you were before. It'll transition if we go ahead and unlock A gear, maybe even Belshazzar. So let's just say we can get rid of those two right here. We're gonna go ahead, actually we'll keep on doing solo mode. So let's just say we're going to get ourselves A gear and Belshazzar solo mode. Boom, we're already making 45,000. And that is literally getting our character just 20 eye levels up. We only have to go ahead and do maybe that advanced honing. Super duper easy. And that's like 10 eye levels on the first one, but that's like pennies. And you can see then the difference in gold is 45,000 compared to 113. So I think honing alts high is just not worth it. And I would just say abuse Paradise and just get your alts maybe to like 1660, 1670, and the rest just leave them at that. I think that's gonna wrap up the video for today. Of course, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's worth holding alts? Think it's not worth holding alts? And what do you think about these excruciating prices right now to up an alt even to 1710? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys did enjoy, I would highly appreciate a like down below and subscribe if you do. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys again soon for another video. Take care, guys.